Welcome to Actually Good, where we are always in tune, but never off key.
On this show, we conduct and discuss what is actually good or not in the entertainment industry.
On this episode, we'll be discussing the 2014 American sci-fi film Divergent, starring Chanel Woodley and Theo James. I'm Tyler, and my favorite movie is Halloween Town, because me personally, I like a good movie where there's a good mix between spooky and comedy. And Halloween Town is the perfect fit for that, in my opinion.
My name is Amanda, and my favorite movie right now is Coraline because I love claymation and I like theories. And every single time I watch Coraline, I learn something new every single time.
Awesome.
Now, here's our superstar rundown on Divergent. According to IMDb.com, this 2014 film is set in a futuristic dystopia where society is divided into 5 factions that each represent a different virtue. Teenagers face challenges in their decision if they want to stay in their faction or switch to another.
This movie was a fan favorite amongst viewers, grossing a total of approximately $289 million worldwide. Amanda, which faction would you choose to be in?
The faction I would choose is Dauntless.
Why?
But because they're so adventurous, so I kind of want to experience that with but it's also challenging. I think that's why I like it, but at the same time, I'm a little bit biased. Yeah, it's definitely challenging to be in Dauntless, but I'm a little bit biased because they didn't show us all of the qualities of the other ones. So I think if I would have known probably honesty, I probably would lean towards, but because I know about Dauntless, I'm gonna choose Dauntless. That makes sense, yeah. What about you?
Yeah, for me personally, I gotta agree with you on that point where the film itself didn't really show the other factions, how their way of life is and stuff like that. So if it was me, my personality, I would go for Dauntless as well, just because me personally, I like the adventure, adventure and stuff like that. And the stuff that they be doing in the film,
it's crazy.
One of the first scenes, they're jumping off trains onto roofs.
Yeah, and they don't even tell you. Honestly, I might panic a little bit, but I think I'll be alright.
Nah, I'm not panicking. I'm jumping. I'm sorry. Now let's open up a bag of flaming hot Cheetos with these hot takes. Watching this film would be the first time I've ever watched Chanel or Theo.
Shailene.
I said Chanel?
Yeah.
I said Chanel. Shailene or Theo. And my first impression of them is this. Chanel, okay, don't hate me. Chanel, I was kind of
Shailene.
I keep on saying Chanel.
Shailene. It's okay. It could be Chanel today. I don't know.
I'm bad with words, but Shailene. With Shailene, I was kind of iffy on because I feel like throughout the film, she never shook off that persona of the shy girl from a small town. If you look at her from the start of the film to the end of the film, she goes from a shy girl from town in rags and stuff like that to this Laura Croft type character with adventurous and stuff like that. But for me personally, it never just
you feel like it was always something there time to time. Missing. I mean, well, my opinion of her, I think she's a great actress. I think she played the role really well, and I think the reoccurring of that shy girl from a small town kind of needed to be there because you can't just have all this character development and it's a sequel.
Yeah.
It kind of defeats the purpose of, because there's, mad books of it, because it is based on a book. There's sequels to the movie too. So it would kind of have to be there just so the characters could still develop and move on. Because if she just develops from the first movie, then it should just be one movie.
Yeah, it's just
right. And then her co-star, Theo James, I think he did great. I don't know, maybe I'm biased. I think he's a great actor. I don't know. I think he's great. I think he played the part. He definitely did his thing. What do you think?
He was good. I'm not gonna.
He played his part.
I'm not gonna yuck on him. He did good for the character that he was given.
Right.
It was really good. It makes me want to see more of his acting going on in the future.
Right.
His character, the actor was good. The character, I was iffy on as well. But it wasn't for the same reason I was with Shailene.
Right.
The reason I was iffy on his character was because I just didn't know what he wanted. At the end of the day, I didn't know what he wanted. I didn't know what
Yeah, he never knew what he wanted.
He
Yeah.
was confusing, and then for other reasons, which I'm not gonna say.
All right, it's finally time to decide if this film deserves tomatoes or flowers. Is Divergent actually good?
Oh boy. All right. So I am going to say, based off the acting that I saw during the film, and even though I did say, okay, some characters I'm iffy on and stuff like that, I'm gonna say Divergent is actually good. And I'm gonna say Divergent is actually good because throughout the entire...
Hold it up.
Oh, I didn't
hold it up. Yeah,
actually good.
Yeah.
Actually good. Well, I'm gonna keep it here. But I like the movie because honestly, two of my favorite movies of all time is The Hunger Games. And,
Hunger Games is good.
And iRobot. You know iRobot?
I haven't heard about iRobot in so long.
Yeah, this movie's giving me like a good...
a good mix of both.
Mix of iRobot, which is like a dystopian society.
And you got the survival with like the Hunger Games.
A corrupt government.
Right.
Stuff like that. And then it's the Hunger Games where it's like, oh, I volunteered,
Right, yeah.
So that's personally why I like the movie. I didn't hate a majority of the characters. I thought most of the characters in this movie was like really fleshed out and good.
Yeah, I didn't hate any of the characters. I'm the first to hate a character.
Oh no, yeah, believe me, I know. Yeah. And then something I would want to point out as well is there was good twists and turns in the movie.
Right.
As well.
It wasn't just so predictable. That's one thing about the movie that I liked a lot too.
And if you remember the scene with her friend, I believe his name is Alex.
Yeah.
That whole twist, that got me. I was sitting at home, I was eating, and then I was watching the movie.
Gotta stop real quick.
It happened. I'm like, whoa.
Okay.
Yeah, that's why I liked it. How about you?
Well, I think Divergent is actually good. I do. I'm not a big fan too much of action movies or things of sci-fi. With sci-fi, I'm kind of picky. Action, I lean to no. It's just too much for me. But Divergent is a good mix. I think the fact that they add the dystopian into it, because when it comes to society, certain things is predictable. So when you kind of twist up the society to a way that we are not familiar, like that we know because we don't live in that kind of society, it kind of challenges your brain and your morals a little bit. And that's what I liked about it. Because even though she was dauntless and, divergent, which means that, you were multiple of one faction and you had to keep it a secret, it kind of leaves you wondering of like, when you start watching a movie, if I was in her situation, would I do the same or would I just like fall for everybody else? Kind of like challenges on the kind of person you are low-key a little bit. That's what I like it. It leaves me thinking.
So you think you'd be Divergent if you was in the film?
I am definitely a Divergent today. Standing.
Oh Lord. All right. Thanks for watching. This has been actually good, and this was actually good.
Good.